Okay, so I know I normally do these tier lists on streams, right? But today I decided I go ahead, since I didn't do any streams this weekend, I should go ahead and do something for the tier list, right? And so what I'm going to do is get some music going, and I'm going to do the random ones. So this, then, and then these two, or these three, sorry. So come on, play, please. It's quiet. I clicked the wrong thing. Bear with me. I'm unprepared because I'm still not at the top of my game, bruh. This is what happens when you do this to me. Okay, let's just start out of order. You know, Kunio-kun. Everybody knows Kunio-kun, right? Okay, maybe not, but he has two different forms. He's mainly used for his combo though, which is a worker's cat start level up M. So he's mainly known for his combo. And his first form actually has quite a lot of DPS, but his two forms are vastly different. Right, he has 200 standing range in his first form with 8,000 DPS with a multi-hit, which is really, you're not using his first form probably, because 50 seconds recharge time is kind of long for the value that he gives, because he doesn't have that much value in his first form. His second form, however, has LD that reaches up to 700 and 500 standing range, so that's some super backliner value. Not great value, but it is still there. It is still super backliner. But it's mostly his combo, and so I'll give him middle of B. And then his, what even is he? Brother? Something. He's something to do with it. He also has a combo, but it's a unit defense up, so that's also nice. It's a small, not a medium, unfortunately, but he has similar treatment as Kunio, except his evolved form has only 450 range, and his LD has a multi-hit. So it's actually kind of faux Noah treatment, right? Where it's a multi-hit that effectively gives him no blind spot. Well, Phono saw the blind spot, but that's besides the point. Nala treatment, that's what it is. It's essentially Nala treatment, except it does have overlapping hits. And he has a 10% chance to knock back on each hit. So he actually has some backlining LD knockback that he can do, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know if it's actually any good because I've never used him. I haven't used a lot of these guys, to be fair, but I do value unit defense over Worker Cat. Well, Worker Cat start can be nice, but he also has LD knockback, which can be nice. So higher end of B, I think, for Kingpin. And then Voluptuous Peony. Tower of Saviors collaboration event. This is always one of those events that confuses me. But the super looks cool. Like, it's a cool design. 4,300 cost, 130 second recharge time is kind of long. But, I mean, 4,500 DPS, 8 second attack. Frequency, 4K, or 4 knockback, sorry, 4 KBs, however you want to say it. 450 attack range. Daji. It just completely leaves the Voluptuous Peony. She is, I'd say she's still voluptuous in her evolved form, though. You're a she, right? I'm just going to assume so. Assuming genders is always one of my least favorite things to do, but the massive damage to Floating an Angel along with its slow. So it's they're kind of like a Shadow Gao, but for Floating an Angel, because this, oh wait, no, this is slow. I mean, it's a nice slow. For some reason, I was thinking freeze. No, it's a nice slow. It's not a great one though. But the massive damage gives. Oh my god, I hate math. So it's somewhere in between. Okay, so 18,000 DPS against both Floating and Angel, which with this range is pretty nice, and the slow can be helpful. Survivability is also pretty good. Floating and Angel is actually not a bad double targeting to have. High B, honestly. High B. Should I put Kunio, or not Kunio? I feel like I should put these guys a little bit lower, because I forget how good the higher end of B is, right? Like I forget how good these guys are. Like I kind of want to move them even further down, like low B, because like there's so many good units in the game. And like that's kind of one of the things I want to show with my tier list, is that if you go straight from the bottom of D to the top of top 10, If you go straight from the worst to the best, obviously there's a huge difference. But in between the bottom of B and top of B, there's the main reason why there's a difference is because of just the jump between, you know, certain sections of Ubers. Because like there's just some random jump somewhere that turns them from, I'll use them sometimes to, wow, I would actually use them a lot against their niche. You know what I mean? Like there's just a random, you know, jump from one place to another, and it's somewhere in B that turns that into the case. And so like it really seems skewed, even though like there's just a lot of good Ubers in the game, which is why I don't get why people will complain about anything like that. I don't get why people would complain if they got an Uber, because most of the Ubers in game are actually very usable and very valid. But anyways, Mobius, which is a name that I don't see fits her, but whatever. 120-second recharge time, 4 knockback count, 8 movement speed, 450 attack range, just about. It is 445, so be specific. 6-second attack frequency, 4500 DPS, 42,000 HP, and massive damage and knockback against red. Yeah, you can tell this is an old unit for sure. Damage and knockback against red. The knockback can be nice, but yeah, definitely worse than Tropical Kalisa. But yeah, like, I mean, being good against red isn't really anything special. And having range against red that still doesn't outrange the red anteater, which I think is that Professor A? No, Master A? Whichever one it is, the red one. Unless you outrange that one, your range doesn't really matter much, unfortunately. So, and plus it's just knockback, not even like slower freeze, so not that good, but still definitely viable. And then these guys, I don't even know what collab they are from. Sanrio's Gude-Tama. Huh, okay. I can't even read. Oh wait, no, there's a translation. Are these guys even in EN? I don't think they are. Knockback against red and alien. I think I have a feeling where I'll put them. I mean, 5500 DPS with 410 range isn't actually that bad. It's actually kind of decent. And their knockback against red and alien would be consistent, and their survivability is pretty good. The recharge time is pretty average. They actually don't seem half bad. Bottom of B still, but like I was saying earlier, like there's so many good things at the bottom of B. Why? I didn't mean to start moving you. There's so many good things at the bottom of B even. Because like bottom of B is still like all of these Ubers are usable. Like unless you're in D tier, you're probably gonna be able to use them in a decent amount of scenarios. And with quite a lot of success. So like the whole ranking thing, I'm done ranking Ubers after this. I'm done doing tier lists after this. Because like from this tier list I'm realizing that there's so many good Ubers that all I'm doing with this tier list is showing people the negativity about I'm basically sharing negativity about certain Ubers whenever that's not what I want to do. You like honestly I would be so happy to have any of these Ubers. Like I even got Bikini Land on one of my spare accounts recently, and I was like happy because like that's a cool Uber to have. Even though they're bad, they're still cool to have and use. And so that's something I don't want to spread too much like hate for Ubers whenever that's super unnecessary. Gude-Cat machine egg. Interesting. 136,000 HP, almost 10,000 DPS, which, I mean, from a cat machine variant, I mean, you kind of expect it. 7-second attack frequency, though, with a force ring of only 3 seconds. That's not actually that bad for a cat machine variant. And resist against floating and metal. And then you have to give them the free so that they actually have value against metal. That's funny. But against floating, I don't see them lasting too long against like Bun variants and stuff, but I guess that's why they have a short recharge time. They're actually not that bad. Probably about the same as this cat machine, right? Why did I put this cat machine so low? Oh, is it because they only target Aku and Angel and they struggle against those two? Those two traits are super like strong and like aggressively powerful, so that like So having him lower is both of them kind of have the same problems, except this one targets metals, so you're not even having much value. And your freeze, it's not having much AoE. You're only hitting the front line, which against floating is nice, and against metal. Well, you know what? I'll put him just slightly above the other one, just to show that I would probably think it's better. But they target completely different things, and that's one of the main things with this tier list, right? Is that it really is impossible to truly compare all of these Ubers to each other, which is precisely why I try to show and restate this so many times. I'm ranking them purely based, aside from the honorable mentions in top 10, because those are just those are just titles given to the top of S tier, right? Like the best of the best, right? So aside from those two ranks, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. Well, F tier kind of excluded because those are just cheating. Like those are weird. But all of D through S, those Ubers, I would have put an S no matter what. If they were the first Uber I were to rank on this tier list, I would have put them in S. And so, yes, whenever I started putting more Ubers, I was kind of rearranging some things and moving some things up and down. But that's only because perspective hit me. That's not because I'm comparing them to other Ubers. That's just because of, it's just because of hindsight. It's because of, things like that. And so I don't want anybody to think that I ranked Gundaros perfectly knowing that above Nanaho because I think he's better than Nanaho. By no means is that something I would say. This is just one of those things where I'm randomly placing them in tiers. I didn't purposefully put Thunderjack under Armageddon, I think is his name. I didn't purposefully do that. I didn't purposefully put Tails under Nobunaga, right? Although I still would, I didn't purposely put Tails above Megador. I'm placing them randomly. I'm not specifically saying that Akechi is better than Chrono's the Bride, right? It's not one of those things where you can just look at it and be like, oh, Konako is better than no, not Konako. Nanaho is better than Konako. That's not something that should be taken away from this tier list. I'm doing this mainly for entertainment. I'm doing this as a celebration of my 2,000 subscribers that I hit a while back, and it's just taken so long. And I think it's for entertainment, and it's also to explain my thoughts on every Uber and to show people what every Uber does, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is explaining things to people that don't know. I like sharing information, and so that's something that this tier list has done in a way that is also entertaining to some. And so that's, realistically speaking, that's just the best way for me to do it, because just going through and being like, oh, this Uber does this and this and this and then move on, that's not gonna be entertaining. That's not gonna be fun for anybody. It's not even fun for me. So putting it in this format is the best way to do it. But yeah, I'll probably be doing more tier list videos off stream later this week. Although I don't really want to, I think I will do these guys off stream, but then I'll save the rest for on stream, like this weekend. I think that's what I'll do. Oh shit, I didn't do these guys. Huh. I completely forgot that I was supposed to be doing those guys. Hopefully you guys are still watching. I completely thought I would. You know what, I'll just save that. I'll save those for another thing. I'll combine them with something. Probably chocolate, but what are they? I don't know what these guys are called. Like chocolate or something. It starts with chalk, I think, but whatever. By the way, I've been playing Mega Bonk recently, and it's pretty fun. Anyways, I'll end the video so that you're not just listening to me yap. If you did enjoy, please do come back for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.